Alex Mack is expected to come back this season. I still don't understand why they just can't say he's coming back. But he's expected to come back, and I don't think they're gonna make themselves look like they don't know or that they're liars. So I'm taking their word for it. I think Alex Mack is basically 98% sure that he's coming back. What do you think? What does that mean for the offense?
Well, I mean, if he comes back, that's a big boost for the 49ers offensive line because that's one less need that you need to fill right away. Then you can draft and develop for next year because I don't think if he's pondering retirement now, I don't think he's going to come back next year or for 2023. So I feel like it's a good thing for the 49ers in that he is coming back, and we'll see how this plays out. They've done this with other players in the past and traded them at the deadline. But this one's a little bit different, I think.
This is really important because the Niners are trying to act like they're being prudent. I know you're talking about Bear, but they're trying to act like they're business as usual. We don't stray from there's a reason we've been to the NFC Championship two of the last 3 years. This is how we do business. We're not going to stray from it because we almost made the Super Bowl or almost missed the playoffs. Fine. So they bring in one starter that everyone says they need at corner, and they improve their special teams, and they're like, good. See, there you go. We didn't do that much, but we're solid. But it's like, yeah, but now you got a needed left guard, freaking right tackle maybe, strong safety definitely, nickelback definitely, nose tackle potentially, and maybe center. So at least that's one. That's like not a sixth need that they created this year because they decided they didn't need $27 million in salary cap space. 25.
Yeah, well, that's one of them. I feel like we're underselling the offensive line a little bit, given what they were able to accomplish last year with Tom Compton and so on and so forth. I feel like here's the way that I look at the 49ers. If Trey Lance is who the 49ers expect him to be, they're going to be fine. If Trey Lance isn't, then the 49ers are going to struggle. And that's with the expectation that he's going to be the starter, right?
So if he gets hurt and gets sacked a bunch or struggles, it's his fault, even if the pass protection is bad.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing we talked about with Garoppolo, right? Was that he couldn't stay healthy, but he's got to be getting hit to get injured. I just feel like when the 49ers, and that's why, again, that goes along with the reason why I'm okay with having Jimmy Garoppolo there, because if Trey Lance does get injured, you have a better backup than Nate Sudfeld. Poor guy. I don't know. My feeling on this is we didn't really get to see enough of Aaron Banks to know where he is. The 49ers have a better idea than we do because they've seen more of him in actual practice than we have. And then I think that Jalen Moore has already kind of shown that he can play right tackle if need be in place of Mike McGlinchey if he's not healthy.
Let me make a distinction real quick though. Like with Jimmy, when you get that second contract and you become the highest paid quarterback in the league, the highest paid player in the league at that time, and you're making all that money and all the players have to leave because you make that much money. Like the expectation is, you're not going to have the perfect supporting cast. You have to be able to overcome that and make players better because that's why they gave you this contract to make you the best, highest paid player in the league. When you're a first-year starter, I'm not sure that the expectation is the same. You're not being paid the same. And I think the whole idea is since he's on the rookie deal, he doesn't have to make other players better. The other team can make him better, theoretically, if you actually use the money like the way the other teams with rookie quarterback, like the way Miami does. And he can graduate into that player who makes other players better, like Patrick Mahomes has. And all of a sudden, you can start trading players like Tyreek Hill. That's the progression, I thought. That's why I think there's a difference in how you grade those two quarterbacks.
I think that there's definitely you would expect a veteran to carry you more than a second year player. I'm not asking Trey Lance to carry him because I think that with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle,
right,
Elijah Mitchell, he has weapons around him. I mean, obviously, and I can't forget Ross Dwelly as well, right?
Coming back, we're going to talk about him. Don't worry, he's going to get his own segment.
So obviously, I just feel like they have the talent around him where he doesn't have to carry him. I think that we've seen Shanahan do a good enough job of scheming things open. I mean, heck, come on. This is a team that could have been to the playoffs if Nick Mullins just didn't throw interceptions in 2020.
Sure.
Right. Sure. I mean, if you believe that Lance is closer to Garoppolo than a Mullins, then I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean the Niners were 3-3 with Jimmy in 2020, and it wasn't just him getting hurt. Like Debo was out the whole year. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
you're right. You're right
all I'm
because
saying is
Debo
like
was out, Kittle was
everything.
out for an extended period of time.
Yes, all I'm saying is everything
Nick Bosa
is
was
in
out.
place. Everything's in place around Trey Lance on offense, but it would be a shame if he got hurt like he did twice last year because the offensive line is like it's not like it's subpar. Now I know they've won a lot of games with Justin School and Colton McKivitz, but are you really going to win the Super Bowl with Justin School and Colton McKivitz? Like probably at a certain point, Chris Jones or Von Miller and Aaron Donald are going to overwhelm you, like they've done. And if you want to win that Super, like every other team with a young quarterback has made some additions in free agency, except for the Patriots, who already have a really good offense to their offensive line. And the Niners are over here getting worse on it. And it's like, hey, Trey, go protect yourself. Like that's okay. I think you can. I think he does a very good job of that. But if he were to get hurt, I wouldn't be like, well, he's not the real deal. Should have been able to protect himself. Sorry,
No,
bud.
no. Totally,
Yeah.
totally agree with you. No, if he was to get injured, I don't think that I wouldn't put it on him either.
Now, when Jimmy gets injured, it's 100% his fault. I'm sorry.
Well, and that's why I kind of stopped myself when I said
Yeah.
that because the first injury for Garoppolo as a 49er in 2018 was his fault. If he hadn't been so stupid,
That
he
was
just ran out of
100%
bounds.
his fault. Yes.
Right. If he just ran out of bounds, he wouldn't have gotten hurt. So that's kind of why I was trying to stop myself short a little bit on that one as I was
right.
catching
Right.
my
It's
mouth
like
going a little
Joe
faster. than my
Burrow
brain.
getting his knee taken out was not his fault. Trey Lance getting his finger chipped probably wasn't his fault. But Trey Lance getting his knee, I mean, that was his knee sprained. Well, that was probably a combination of him and Kyle. Hard to say.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I put that on Kyle using him as a running back.
He has a freaking battering ram. All right. We Alex Mack, please come back. Kyle's comments reflect the same overthinking that blighted this 2-time Super Bowls and NFC champ fails. From New Zealand, hold on. Kyle's comments reflect the same overthinking that blighted his 2 Super Bowls and NFC championship fails.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what he's getting that there is getting away from the running game both years in the Super Bowl with Atlanta and with the 49ers. The NFC Championship game, I don't blame that on him as much as I blame it on Garoppolo missing wide open receivers over and over again.
I would say that he did get away from Debo in the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game. Like, go back and look at Debo's. That's tough. That's like Steve Kerr forgetting to call plays for Steph Curry with Game 7 on the line in the fourth quarter. That's that.
Understood.
Yeah. Understood. George says that man Alex Mack. Hold on. That man Alex Mack like Jimmy Garoppolo. So it all depends on Jimmy. I don't think he's black quarterback. Mack is retiring because Trey's. Whoa, George. Wow. That's a lot to put on Alex Mack who you don't know. I wouldn't say any of that stuff. I don't know him like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on, man.
I've heard that. I've heard people make assertions like that against Kyle Shanahan as well. I just don't get it.
I think that's a big reason Kyle Shanahan wanted Trey Lance is he was like, oh, everyone thinks I have a freaking type and it's the white stiff quarterback. Like, I mean, I can make it work with that quarterback, but I like good quarterbacks too. I mean, what are you talking about? I think that's not good quarterbacks, but like talented quarterbacks. George says Jimmy G will lose that quarterback competition. The Niners will be smart to cut Jimmy G if they don't want to deal with embarrassment. George is pissed. Royally pissed. I like it, George. Thank you.
Royally pissed.
Royal.